Good evening, everyone, and welcome here to round 23 of the 2021 championship season. We head to Pocono. Pocono was supposed to be on the schedule all the way back around midway through the year, but it got taken off the schedule, and then now it's back on. And James Shelly is on pole for today's race. He's won 2 of the last 5 races, looking at a 3rd win in 6 races. Shelly won at Indianapolis at the start of August, and now in the start of September, he came off winning at Darlington. Shelly has won 2 of the crown jewel races of 2021. He won the Daytona 500 back in season 17. He joins Nick Mays as the only 2 drivers to ever win the Triple Crown, and Shelly added that to his resume, and he brought that momentum into Pocono by sitting on the front row and taking pole position. And alongside of him is DJ Kurtis. Kurtis has been swinging that points lead in his favor ever so slightly. It went from 73 points to 63 to now 34. Darlington was a nightmare race for the championship leader, Jesse Turner. Turner was in the lead in the event, ended up dropping to 2nd, hitting the wall, lost the lead to Shelly, and had to repair damage, brought him all the way outside the top 10, and then Jeffrey Lynn broke in front of him with 10 laps to go, dropping Turner all the way down to 19th, even crashing post-race. Jesse Turner had a terrible race weekend at Darlington, a track that he usually performs very good at. But coming in this race, Turner Performance has 3 of their cars in the top 5 for the starting grid. Jake Bassinger, who entered the top 10 for the first time in as many races in this season. Bassinger's back in the top 10 in the driver standings as he moves to 9th, dropping Alex Binyaku, the hometown hero, outside the top 10 for the first time all season. Let's get down to start the race at Pocono. 23rd round of the championship for 2021. The races are dwindling away, and so are the attempts to be able to reel yourself back in for the championship lead. DJ Kurtis only 34 points behind Jesse Turner coming in this event. Dylan Schwallenberg in the 10. He's starting all the way back in 9th place. He is now 95 points back. Pocono. Could it be a race where we see the points lead swing again? DJ Kurtis, a win today and a 15th place finish by Jesse Turner would be enough to swing Kurtis back in the title lead. But for James Shelly, he's looking to add more wins to this season as he takes the green flag. We're racing at Pocono. Already, Dylan Schwallenberg, Nick May, Sean Harple diving out 3 wide to try and get underneath of some drivers in the turn 1. Shelly's going to get the advantage and get ahead of DJ Kurtis. This track is usually a 1-lane groove track. The outside can be the preferred groove, but the inside line into the corners usually is the line that you want to try and tackle. But Kurtis round the outside of Dylan Young. Young, the only driver for Turner Performance that has not won all season. And with the new rule change coming into 2023, next season, silly season, is going to mean that Turner Performance Racing is going to have to go from 4 cars down to 2. And Dylan Young, even though he doesn't have a contract past 2022, is going to need to make a statement that he's a worthy contender for the 2023 season because he'll be a free agent after next season. And with Young not winning any races, that really puts him at the bottom end of the totem pole at Turner Performance. But he's into 2nd past Kurtis and Jesse Turner passing his rival for the title. And caution flag is already out. And it looks like Nick Mays has been upside down. Nick Mays is out of this one. Remember, he made it 3 wide at the start of this event, and he is taking a rough ride down the front straightaway. Here's a replay of what happened. Mace was side by side with Luke Martin and Jordan Fisher, bounced off the hometown hero Alex Binyaku. Vince Freeze hit him, and Nick Mace went for a barrel roll on the front stretch at Pocono. And what a ride for Nick Mace. I have never seen an accident like that. What a wreck by Nick Mace, and I sure hope he's okay. 36 race victories and 2 championships. Nick Mace is a legend of this sport, and he has took a legendary ride. I've never seen a flip and a barrel roll quite like that. Wow, this was a scary accident. Sure hope Nick Mace is okay. Oh my God. Slow barrel roll at first, but then it's just a wild ride The G-forces from that flip is gotta be immense. Anyone want to take a counter of how many times Nick Mace just flipped? Nick Mace upside down, had to get a tow back to the pits. And we're hoping that he is okay. And get another view of it. Nick Mace, 2 championships, 36 race wins, a Triple Crown winner, and I think he has the most wins of all time for a team. If not, he is second all time as a team owner. And down the front straightaway, completing lap 1 at Pocono. I believe this has got to be probably the first yellow flag since 2016 at Pocono. And what a ride! The cameraman got such a great angle of this. But Nick Mace, we're hoping he is okay. But that was a brutal accident. Nick Mace taking a lot of G's in that flip and got a load of air there. Nick Mace. Oh my goodness. He just kept going and going. Nick Mace missed the Daytona 500, failed to qualify, was outside the top 30 in the driver standings for majority of the first half of the season. And now he's in the top 20 in points ahead of his teammate Eric DeMax. Or at least he was a few races ago, but not anymore at least. Eric DeMax should pass him after this. But Nick Mace is going to be out of the race, and we hope he is okay. On board with the 3-time champion of Jordan Davis and an ex-teammate to Nick Mace. He just hit the asphalt so many times, and then what a ride. Sure hope Nick Mace is alright. That did not look good whatsoever. This is the first caution flag we've had at Pocono in 5 years. 5 years we have had caution-free races at Pocono, and now we have a caution on lap 1, and everyone's trying to get out of the pit safely, and everyone is on pit road. Fisher and Rogers make contact, leaving pit road. Rogers also into the Doug Lockrow of Flying Aces Racing 05. And Rogers had a strategy there. I think he might have took 2 tires, but that might have been why he had a lot of contact leaving pit road. There's some other drivers that making different strategy calls as well. You see Ace Wild in the 98. He started out back. Same thing with Daniel Bouchard. He's a ways up the running order. So we have a lot of different strategies coming after lap 1. Didn't really need to take 4 tires after completing 1 lap. This shouldn't change much of the strategy for today's race. James Shelly is still out front. Dylan Young in second. Restart. The green flag is back in the air. We're on lap 7 of the event. Shelly leads over his teammate Dylan Young, Ryan Griffin, Matthew Rodriguez, Zach Rodgers. Different strategy calls have Ryan Griffin was already up here, but Rodgers in specific, I think he only took 2 tires in the 99. Put him up into 5th place. Jesse Turner in 6th position, but looking for DJ Kurtis. Kurtis had a very slow pit stop, and he is way down the running order. DJ Kurtis restarted in 25th position, and he's alongside Cody Lamas, 2nd, 3rd, and 5th in the championship. Cody Lamas lost a position to Matthew Rodriguez in the driver standings after Darlington when he had some sort of problem under the hood. I think a battery might have died on that 48 near the end of that event, and it dropped him outside the top 30. As the cars fan out down the front straightaway, this time we do get a clean green flag lap in. Richard Johnson looking to get underneath of Zach Rodgers. Rodgers with 99, not able to keep the speed up. He only took like either a gas and go or 2 tires. Either way, everyone behind him has a lot better of an advantage on him at this point in the race. Up front, Matthew Rodriguez has moved his way up to 2nd position past Dylan Young. James Shelly trying to get away. Turner going after Matthew Rodriguez. The championship leader had a great pit stop, while DJ Kurtis had a terrible one to the inside of Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez in the 9 has ran well here at Pocono in the past. Jesse Turner has also ran well here at Pocono, but just never been able to win at this venue. James Shelly, only 9 laps in. He got the pole. He's led all the laps so far. We've ran a good bit of them under the caution flag. But Jesse Turner, the teammate and the boss, the championship leader, this entire organization looking superb in the early going. Turner's into second position and trying to chase his teammate down for the lead. Outside of the top 10 as the field tries to sort out Zach Rogers is 99. Richard Johnson closing in on this top 5. Dom Capps in the 6th for Martin Motorsports. A great qualifying effort for Capps. He's in 7th position. Charles Sanford's in 8th. Jake Bassinger has made his way into the top 10. He's in 9th. And then John Arndt in 10th position. Zach Rogers, he did do a strategy, a very different strategy to be able to get him into the top 10. It's only 1 lap that fresher tires that everyone else does have on him, and you would figure that that would be very good and it would help him a ton, but Rogers was very quickly disposed of and outside the top 10. You got Samuel England just behind in 12th, Day John Weeks, Bobby Jones, and then Lane Sanders making his debut for Cybertron Motorsports. He's ahead of his teammate Zayden Davidson inside the top 15. Davidson 16th, Stephen Paul III in 17th, then Sean Harple, Cody Lamas. That is the top, actually, yeah, Sean Harple, then Luke Martin, and Cody Lamas the top 20. Outside the top 20, though, Dylan Schwallenberg, Jeff James, Ryan Acosta, and DJ Kurtis. Kurtis to the outside and past Ace Wild. Wild also, different strategy call. The Hero Motorsports team decided not to change tires on pit stops, or at least not change all 4. I'm still not entirely sure what they did on pit stops to leapfrog as many drivers as they did. Chris Dodd passing Ryan Acosta, who looks like he's got a problem. He's heading backwards. Some more drivers that are deep in the pack, but still early days in the race. Alex Binyaku, this is a home race for him. He's in 28th position. Jeffrey White just behind him in 29th. We expect these drivers to be a little higher up. Binyaku and White, they're stars of the Hardy's National Series, but they ran really well here before at Pocono. At least not Jeffrey's not really ran here at Pocono. Jack Porkins and Alex Binyaku raced here. I think it was last season, and they both did very well. Binyaku to the inside of Kyle Collins in the 86. Collins, I think, had to start in provisional land. I don't have the starting grid right here next to me to be able to tell, but Hayden Klein, he's in 30th. Then 31st is Eric Damax. He's a ways down the order trying to do something for this organization. Nick Mace fell out of the race, and we're going to wait and get a condition report from Nick Mace as the reports come in. James Silverfox in 32nd. Daniel Bouchard, Zachary Fitzwater, Fitzwater's teammate Jordan Fisher, 35th. Then it's Jordan Davis, Charlie Smith in the 82, ahead of his teammate Jeffrey Lynn. Then it's Alexander Rowe, his teammate Vince Freeze. Freeze having a terrible run. We know Freeze did start in provisional land in the 55, and he has not been able to make any progress. And out of the race, Doug Lockrow has fell out of the race in the 05. In a replay of it, Doug Lockrow came down pit road under yellow flag, and he did not return to the race. So something was amiss under the hood of that 05 Flying Aces racing car, and Doug Lockrow is the second retiree of this race. Thanks for the lead. Here comes Jesse Turner to the inside of James Shelly. Turner on lap 10 of this event. Looks like he's going to have the upper ground, and Jesse Turner, Turner Performance Racing has all 4 of their cars inside the top 10. It just looks like one of those days that Turner Performance Racing is soaking up this long straightaway. You know, Ford and Turner Performance Racing, they are very good on the high-speed tracks, and they're using that Ford engine to perfection as Jesse Turner shoots to the lead. Lap 15 of the event, the front 4 are pulling away. Look at that gap. Dylan Young losing touch a little bit with the front 3, but then you have Richard Johnson in 5th. Ryan Griffin, Bassinger's moved his way up to 7th now. The Red Bulls looking very good. They have been kicking up the notches a little bit at Red Bull, picking up the pieces and doing well. Charles Sanford in 8th right now over his teammate Samuel England. Dom Capps looks like he might fall outside of the top 10. Davidson to the inside of him, trying to make an appearance into the top 10. It'll be the first car of the Cybertron Motorsports team entering the top 10 of today. And then Day John Weeks there also trying to get into 11th position. the inside of Dom Caps. Caps is going to lose 2 positions in 1 lap. And then you have Dylan Schwallenberg, Bobby Jones, DJ Kurtis. Kurtis is into the top 15, but with Jesse Turner leading the race and Kurtis down in 15th position, this is not the race Kurtis would want, or Schwallenberg. With Jesse Turner leading the event, they're right now losing so many points. Race to get into the top 20 is kicking off as we're down in top 15. Look at this move by Zach Rogers. Rogers trying to get back by Stephen Pollard III into the tunnel turn. And Rogers kind of back where this car usually will stable out at. Look at the bumper, to Jeffrey White to the 99. Jeffrey White just drilled the back end of the 99 Ford Mustang. They're racing super hard with each other, looking nearly 3 wide. This battle extends from about 20th all the way down to about 28th position. Ryan Acosta and Alex Binyaku, Kyle Collins, Jeffrey White, Luke Martin are all in this battle. So we have a lot of big-name drivers deep mid-pack. And Rogers down the inside of the 0, Stephen Pollard III. Rogers came across the line in 20th last time around, but CM Racing 0 powering back on the high side. White to the outside of the 99. But Rogers has the preferred groove. But sometimes you can rim around the high side and get the preferred groove, but you can see all the way back to Eric DeMax, which is 31st. Right within striking distance to get into the top 20. They are all on top of each other here. Swild in the 98 is one of the first few drivers to come down pit road. In fact, one of the leaders, Richard Johnson, is on pit road. We're on lap 18, so it's kind of surprising that the new tire compound here at Pocono is making these drivers have to pit as early as they are. Usually Pocono is a one-stopper, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case today. Ryan Griffin losing more positions in the 37. Would be expecting him to be coming down pit road very shortly. Let's see who comes down pit road next. Is any of the leaders going to come down pit road? As you see, Jesse Tyner leads over Shelly, Rodriguez, Young, then Bassinger. Bassinger chipping his way through the pack. He's in the top 15, or he's in the top 5. Richard Johnson pitted very early for Monster Energy Racing. Short pitting does have its benefits, but it's a matter of if it'll pay off in the long run. The leader's going to come down pit road, Jesse Turner. He's hitting pit road. James Shelly's going to stay out. He's going to be on an alternate strategy to his teammate, Rodriguez. Dylan Young, they will pit. Bassinger stays out. Red Bull Samuel England comes down pit road with Dejon Weeks. Leaders leaving pit road. Jesse Turner beat Matt Rodriguez off with Dylan Young. Young, somebody ran in the back of Dylan Young. Richard Johnson pitted probably 3 laps earlier than everyone else, about 3 or 4 laps prior to what Jesse Turner just did. And we're going to have to get a replay of what happened with Dylan Young. He's going to be leaving the pits, and Alexander Rowe ran right in the back of him on pit road as he was leaving. And third place, Dylan Young now has some back end damage. Anyway, Jesse Turner pitted 1 lap earlier than James Shelly, and that is the difference of the undercut to the overcut. Shelly is going to have 1 lap fresher tires than all 3 of these drivers of Dylan Young, Matthew Rodriguez, and Jesse Turner. But Shelly now has to try and get past Matthew Rodriguez to be able to try and set out on his teammate Jesse Turner. Turner really put the afterburners on when leaving pit road. And problems for the AlphaTauri Toyota Camry of Daniel Bouchard. Bouchard in the 26. He got stuck on pit road, and now they're trying to get the car jacked back up. They can't get the car up off the ground to change the tires. A disastrous pit stop for the 26 of Daniel Bouchard. Dejon Weeks in the 3. It's good to see him running as well as he is today. He's got a run on Zayden Davidson here. This would be a position to get into the top 10, I believe. Weeks in the 3 ever since probably second half of the season. CM Racing has kind of struggled to get the run of results as they deserve. If it wasn't been for Watkins Glen, they wouldn't have any good luck at all. And Dejon Weeks right in the back end of Zayden Davidson. Weeks ran right into Zayden Davidson in a turn 3, put them both in the wall. And Weeks, his Hardee's Chevrolet, ran right in the back of the Cat Ford. The view of it, Davidson came up pit road in 10th position, and Weeks was looking to get into the top 10. But Davidson He hit the brakes much earlier than what Weeks was expecting, and Weeks wasn't quite to the left of Davidson to be able to try and make that pass, and ran right in the back of him, and it really put an unbalance off for the 3 in the 91, and Weeks is now dropping outside the top 15. The front of the field, Dylan Young looking to make a pass on Matt Rodriguez. He got by his teammate James Shelly, and with that back end damage, it is not hurting Dylan Young whatsoever, and Dylan Young gets past Matt Rodriguez and into second position. Here comes James Shelly looking to make a pass back on Dylan Young yet again. They both got around Matt Rodriguez. Turner Performance Racing, 1, 2, 3, and they got their other one back there in 7th position. Looking so good right now. Matt Rodriguez is in 4th position. He has moved his way up to 4th in the driver's standings coming in this event, and is still hopeful he can close down his teammate Dylan Schwallenberg, be the highest running Rodriguez racing car in the points, even though Matt Rodriguez would very much love to see himself or Dylan Schwallenberg win the title for 2021, but it is looking very much even more doubtful now when Tunner's leading the race at Pocono when the season's coming to a close. But Richard Johnson moving past Matt Rodriguez to get into 4th position. Rodriguez back to 5th. Samuel England. This rookie is really coming into his own. Jeffrey White is leading the Rookie of the Year standings, and he started off the season so well, did Jeffrey White, but their seasons, both White and England seasons, kind of been flip-flopped, haven't they? You know, White started off so well in the first 15 races, and then England is kind of came into his own in the last couple of events. And with England running this good, 6th position for Red Bull Racing, and then Jake Bassinger in 7th. Cybertron Motorsports' own DJ Kurtis has moved his way in the top 10 now in 8th place. This is what DJ Kurtis needs to do to be chipping his way back to the front, get as much points as possible. Ryan Griffin in 9th, and then Zayden Davidson holding on for now in 10th position. Outside the top 10, it is Chris Dodd. He usually runs very well at this track. Ran 3rd here back in 2018 for Martin Motorsports. Then it is Charles Sanford in 12th, Dom Katz in 13th, Bobby Jones and Dejon Weeks in 15th position. Cody Lamas really struggling at this stage of the race in 16th. Lane Sanders has got to be very proud of this kind of run. He's keeping it clean, and he's in the top half of the field with Cybertron Motorsports. Alex Binyaku is in the top 20 now, and Dylan Schwallenberg, man, he cannot be happy with this result right now. Matt Rodriguez is in the top 5, and he's floundering back here in 19th. His team really had a terrible pit stop. You know, Dylan Schwallenberg was coming back to the top 10, but they had a terrible pit stop with the 10 car, and it dropped them back to mid-pack yet again. And Schwallenberg is not happy at all with this, but Ace Wild finally got that 98 in the field. That 98 has struggled to make the races, and in fact, Wild's ahead of Rogers. And Wild, rookie driver racing in the Napa Truck Series. It's a good result right now for Wild to be ahead of some drivers like Luke Martin in 21st for Allen Family Racing Team. Martin came off of a very good result for Monster Energy Racing at Darlington. Then it's Jeffrey White, Stephen Pollard III, Harpole, Sower Fox, DeMax, Arndt, Rodgers, Smith, and Hayden Klein, the top 30. And then look at this. Wow. Ryan Acosta for Allen Family Racing Team is in 33rd. I cannot believe that. And with Ryan Acosta, he won 3 races last year. Acosta in the 45. You know, he started off the season well. He led the point standings at one point in this season. And he got a win at Homestead, but ever since then, you know, ever since New Hampshire, it's just been downhill. Could be getting a race for the lead here shortly. Jesse Tunner and James Shelly. Shelly really doing himself proud this season, winning at Darlington and winning at Indianapolis, 2 of the biggest races the Sony Cup Series has to offer. And now at Pocono, the week after Darlington, Shelly looking to possibly make a pass on Tunner. Tunner shuts the door. There was near contact. Shelly is on that back bumper. needs to be careful to not wreck his teammate here as they race for the lead. You know, Shelly has a lot fresher tires than Jesse Turner, but Turner needs to defend superbly here. They're pitting again, I believe. Ace Wild just came down pit road. Jesse Turner should be pitting here shortly. And here comes Shelly to the inside. Shelly looking to take the race lead down the inside in turn 1. Shelly has the preferred groove, but Turner on his outside trying to power back. They continue to race further back outside of the top 10. Davidson holds 10th. Chris Dodd has moved his way up to 9th. Richard Johnson in the 47, I think, just pitted. Shelly surging down the inside in the tunnel turn. And James Shelly takes the race lead. I think Turner will be pitting this lap. Yes, he is. Him, Young, Rodriguez, they will be pitting this time by as soon as James Shelly goes right on by for the lead. Jesse Turner's going to undercut him for pit stops. Race off pit road. James Shelly pitted 1 lap after Turner, and Turner takes the lead back. Lap 35 of the event. I believe they'll pit one more time. There's no way they can make it 25 laps to the end here. Jesse Turner has the lead over James Shelly. Richard Johnson, who continues to short pit for as early as he can. Johnson is in 3rd place onto the podium positions. Well, he will be after pit stops. Bassinger and Sanford playing the long game. Same with Stephen Paul III and Ryan Acosta. But Johnson will be in the net 3rd with Matthew Rodriguez and Dylan Young making up the top 5. With 20 laps to go, let's set you up the field for these last 20 laps. It is Turner over Shelly by 3 seconds. Then Richard Johnson about a second back to Shelly. And Johnson has the oldest tires of the bunch. And he's going to be looking to defend to try and get 3rd today because there's no way he's going to get back by the front 2. Unless some sort of strategy or caution flag happens to set this up and shake it up even more. Matthew Rodriguez in 4th. Dylan Young in 5th position. DJ Kurtis trying to defend against Jake Bassinger. Kurtis is into 6th position. And he needs to be getting as much points as possible. You know, moving up 1 place or going down a place inside the top 10 and even more so in the top 5. You've rewarded more points inside the top 5 and top 10. And Kurtis needs to try and get 6th place from Bassinger. Bassinger hounding him. Bassinger's been one of the quickest cars. Turn Performance Racing has been much better than everyone else today. As you can tell, they're 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 7th. Bassinger looking for an attack, but not going to come on the straightaway. Chris Dodds in 8th. Samuel England in 9th place. The rookie just continues to impress. Ryan Griffin in 10th position. Lane Sanders for Cybertron Motorsports. And he's doing so well, isn't he? You know, he's the 2nd Cybertron Motorsports car right now. Zayden Davidson had to pit for damage repair, and he's outside the top 20. Bobby Jones, Dom Capps, Charles Sanford, Dylan Schwallenberg. That's the top 15. Schwallenberg's got to be so disappointed that his crew failed him on that first pit stop, that first green flag pit stop, and dropped him so far back. Cody Lama 16th, Alex Binyaku 17th, Jeffrey White, Luke Martin, and actually Dejon Weeks fell outside the top 20 as Stephen Paul III is now in the top 20. Outside the top 20 is Dejon Weeks. Ace Wild having a very good run, actually. He's not falling down the running order. He's beating his teammate Zach Rodgers. And Rodgers, we've known him to be able to pull out results every so often. Zach Rodgers in the 99. But Wild really doing strong for this race. The 43 and 23rd, John Arndt. James Sorfox ever so slightly picking his way through cars this race. He's in 24th, Rodgers 25th. Zayden Davidson with damage repair outside the top 25 with Sean Harpo. Then Jeff James, Eric Damax, Hayden Klein still in the top 30 and 30th. A whole lot has happened ever since that last pit stop where they're pitting yet again very early. From the last time. They can probably go another 10 laps, but Jesse Turner knows that tires are going to pay off, and everyone from the back of the field are already pitting. And Jesse Turner with the undercut again on James Shelly. This could end up paying off here in the race. James Shelly wasted no time getting down pit road. Everyone knows that tires really mean a lot here at Pocono. The fall off will drop about 2 seconds. And so that's a lot of time you can lose around this racetrack. Everyone is pitting. Shelly, though, where is he going to come out in comparison to his teammate? There's James Shelly, but where is Turner? There he is on the straightaway. Shelly trying to leave pit road as quick as he can, but around the outside, Jesse Turner. Turner in the 17. That 17 crew is on it all the time. Jesse Turner's consistency is undeniable. Jesse Turner knows how to get it done, and when his team is as quick as they are, you know, there's times where this Turner Performance Racing team struggle, but for the most part, this team can pull a rabbit out of the hat more times than not, and they have all 4 cars running so well. You know, sometimes in some seasons, you know, the 17 and the 97, they end up being the quickest cars, and then the 2 other cars struggle the most. But this season, especially the last couple races, and today especially, all 4 cars look so good. And you gotta give that team a round of applause. Turner Performance Racing looking so good. And for next season, this team will be forced to cut to 2 cars full time instead of 4, and so they're gonna have to cut 2 drivers after next season. And this race team, man, they are so good at what they do. And Jesse Turner looking to pat a 6th win this season. That would be insane. 5 laps of racing to go. Jesse Turner, his advantage is not shrinking enough. James Shelly is not able to close that gap. 3.7 seconds is the margin. Race for 3rd. Johnson trying to get another podium this season, but it's not going to happen, I don't think. He's got older tires, and Matthew Rodriguez powers by. And Rodriguez, he's really came on strong in probably the last 10 races. And Matthew Rodriguez, last year he could have won the title. He got wrecked in the season finale. A car he said was undeniably so fast. But this season he's playing catch-up. He had a poor start to the season, and he put him on the back foot. And last 10 races, he's been so good. Rodriguez Racing building to the future for next season, hoping that they can make another title challenge, and hoping that Schwallenberg and maybe even Matthew Rodriguez could still close this gap in the point standings. But with Turner leading this race, they're going to lose a lot of points today. Jake Bassinger is in 5th position. They both got by. When I say both, him and Kurtis have gotten by Dylan Young. And Young in the 16, you know, he has that damage. It's kind of hurting him just a little bit, but still a solid result nonetheless right now. Jake Bassinger in the top 5. You know, Bassinger hasn't had the season he would have hoped for. He came off of 2020. He really should have won the championship last year, but just a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and what ifs. You know, if he had done a few things differently, maybe he would have been champion last year. You can say that for every season, though. But Bassinger top 5 result, I think he'll be proud of that run. And then DJ Kurtis, though, trying to take it back, trying to get back in the top 5. Kurtis has not really been top 5 on green flag pace all race, but trying to do damage control right now. You know, DJ Kurtis has 38 points, and if Turner wins this race, he's 60 points. So right now, it would be a 22-point swing. I believe so. Yeah, it would be 22 points. He came in this race 34 pack, and he'd be losing 22. So right now, DJ Kurtis is 56 points behind Jesse Turner. And to put that into perspective, if you win a race and your rival finishes last, that's a 59-point swing. You can only gain about 59 points in a race. Even though the max points you get is 60, the least amount of points you can get is only 1. So right now, Kurtis is essentially 1 full race behind Turner in the driver's standings. And then further back, oh, is that Ryan Griffin? Ryan Griffin's on pit road. Griffin is in trouble. He was in the top 10. Griffin came down pit road. He had some sort of issue. He was falling down the running order. And Ryan Griffin is not going to be able to finish this event. Actually, he will be able to finish. He's getting back on the racetrack. Maybe a flat tire or something. The white flag is flying for Jesse Turner. The final lap of the race at Pocono. The drivers in the back half of the top 10. It's Chris Dodd, Bobby Jones, and Samuel England. Oh, wow. Hayden climbed way up the track in the 90. Almost brushed the wall there. But, wow, Jesse Turner, what can you say? Turner's best season before this one was 4 wins in 2015, and he won the title that season. He has 5 wins on the season. Jesse Turner looking to get his 6th win of the season with 7 races to go after this. Turner, do you think he can win 1 or 2 more? 7 wins is the most all-time in the season. He's going to get ever closer to that. 6 wins on the season. Jesse Turner extends his championship advantage and wins at Pocono. Bouncing back after a horrible race weekend at Darlington, James Shelly, last weekend's winner, is going to have to settle for second, 2 seconds back. 3rd position goes to Matt Rodriguez. 4th, Richard Johnson. 5th is Jake Bassinger. 6th for DJ Kurtis. And then further down the road, Bobby Jones gets 8th. Chris Dodd 9th, and Samuel England will get a top 10 result, another top 10 for the rookie. Jesse Turner, he is looking so good. With 7 races to go after this one, the advantage and the momentum is swinging back in the hands of Jesse Turner. You know, DJ Kurtis for 2 races after Kurtis wrecked at Michigan and followed that up with a win at Decatur on strategy to fool the 17 team that were poised to win their first road course race of the season. Turner was gonna win that race at Decatur until Kurtis really snookered the field. That entire team did. And then Kurtis got another podium at Darlington, and Turner wrecked at Darlington and finished 19th. And what did Turner do after wrecking at Darlington? Comes to Pocono with his head down and wins at Pocono for the 6th time this season. And Jesse Turner, man, the most wins all time by a driver in a single season is Nick Mace and Ryan Griffin with 7 wins. 7 wins is the most that a driver has won in one season, and now Turner's only 1 win away from that. Congratulations to Turner. It is looking likely that Turner could possibly win at least 2 more times this season, and if he does that, it will be the most ever. He just has to win 1 more time, and he ties Nick Mason and Ryan Griffin's record from 2018 and 2019. Congratulations to Jesse Turner on extending his championship advantage, and now sits 56 points ahead of DJ Kurtis, and that's about a full race ahead of his championship rival. And with Dylan Schwallenberg not even finishing inside the top 10, Schwallenberg, he was 95 points back. Now Schwallenberg is way over 2 races behind, so we may be looking at only 2 drivers really fighting for this title this season. Next time out, I believe we're going to be heading to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas always is an exciting one. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time out.